Find product links below and hundreds more videos on my channel.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I wanted to give you a brief first look at the Yongnuo YN-300, and I will, after maybe a couple of months, when I've really put this through a lot of use and tests, then I will post a full review. And the reason I'm posting this is because I've had tons of questions about this. I just got this today, and so that's why I'm posting it right away. And okay, so basically, I've been using the YN-160 lights. I really like them. They're not completely perfect, but they're very powerful, very low cost. And when I want more power out of them, I put 3 of them on one stand, and that gives me tons of power. And now I also have the aperture lights, which I really like, but obviously they're more expensive. This is around about £116, and then around £24, and then around about £42. So, and these are China prices, and so this is around in the middle somewhere, and I'm not really sure if it's worth the extra money. And let me explain. The 160 gives about the same amount of light as the 300, and I'm kind of surprised about this. I don't know why, but basically the 300 gives the same amount of light slightly further out, so with a slightly wider beam, but your subject isn't going to be any brighter. And I find that just really strange. And now when I say same brightness, this is around 1/8 of a stop brighter, which is basically nothing. You can almost not tell the difference. And I find that really surprising. You know, if I pay about double, almost double, I would expect more light, at least a little more light, but it's not giving that. And so this thing is built incredibly well, probably the best build quality I've seen in any LED light unit, which I think is great. Like, it's really solid, better than the Yongnuo. Now the Yongnuo is pretty solid. It squeaks a bit when you really give it a squeeze, but it's taken up, you know, it's taken some falls, and it's taken, like, being thrown into bags and whatever. It's taken a beating, and this is also pretty solid. But this thing is just like, it's a brick basically. Like, I really like it, and you can feel that in the weight as well. Now the build quality is great. The fact that it's thinner is great. It's almost half. So I like the fact that it's thinner. That's great, but it's no brighter, and it costs more. And the barn doors on it, just like the barn doors that can come with the 160, are useless. You know, they diffuse the light a little bit, but they don't really help block it. When you put these out, whatever, you know, first of all, the light out of the corners, you get tons of light spilling, and or at least some light spilling from there. And then if you try and close these like that, then what you'll end up with is a bunch of weird lines on your image, because it's an LED light. You know, because you've got all these rows of LEDs, it's just creating these massively weird lines all over your image. So basically not ever useful to block light. And then because it's reflective here, also if you try and use this to block light, let's say you closed it like this, then most of the light that this is blocked, most of the light that is blocked coming this way, that is now throwing this way. So not very useful. And now this thing comes with a bunch of features, which I think it's great that they tried to add new features to this. But as you can see, these barn doors are incredibly annoying to me. They're just constantly getting in my way, which is why I sold my my 160s that had the barn doors and got these. And so with this one, it doesn't come without barn doors at the moment, but you can just buy it with the barn doors and remove them from these little screws. I don't think this is glued on, but I haven't tried to remove that yet. And so it's got a bunch of features that are mostly useless. And okay, so first of all, we have the on-off button here, and we have this ability to go up and down with a spinning knob thing, and that's much nicer to spin than with holding the button down on the Yongnuo. But it does go up in big jumps, which means if you can't adjust it during the shot, unlike the lovely smooth control of the aperture light. And then You do have a mode here to allow you to, it's called smooth or something, or fine mode, and that allows you to have fine control over how much you want to increase or reduce your brightness. Now let me turn that down and show you how long that takes to increase brightness. So I think now I'm at the minimum brightness, and let's see how long it takes to get to maximum in fine mode. Okay, so going upwards. Okay, so about that long. Not very quick. I would find it incredibly annoying to have to do this every time I wanted to change brightness. So that's why I would just keep it at non-fine mode, where you can do it pretty quickly. Yeah. Now it's got an automatic mode, which is well, it could potentially be something useful, but it's not. Now, first of all, I wouldn't personally use an automatic light. I would, if needed, use an automatic setting on the camera to control my brightness when needed, which is something that is needed sometimes, but an automatic light, not sure if I would use that. I would give it a go if this thing was usable, but it isn't. Now, when I say not usable, I mean, first of all, the tester is back here. So the light meter, or whatever it is, the sensor is here, which is just, I don't know what the hell, I mean, like, if you're gonna test how much light you need, how much light you need to put over there, you test how much light there is over there, not over here. So unless this is in the same, let's say you're in sunlight that's constantly changing because of clouds, as an example, and you wanted this as a fill light and you didn't want it to become too strong, potentially this could have been useful in very, very small, in a very small amount of situations. But it isn't. As soon as you put it on automatic and the light changes, first of all, there's no way that this is going to know your correct exposure, right? So it has no, it's like there's no, from what I've seen so far, it has no way of telling what's correct and what's not correct. It's just sort of guessing. It's going, well, there's a bit more light now, I'm going to make it brighter. But the biggest issue is that it's in jumps. So it jumps up and down when it wants to change the brightness. And that's just going to ruin your footage. It's not going to help at all. It's going to completely ruin your footage if your light is jumping up and down, and it's completely useless. So, and you can put it into fine mode, but that doesn't seem to help. It's still jumping up and down. So, completely useless. Automatic mode, so that's pretty useless. And then we have a battery checker, which doesn't seem to respond very well, and that's a bit annoying. Like, half the time I press the battery checker, it doesn't tell me how much battery there is, and it does a bunch of weird flashing and whatever. And then it's got and it seems to be that whenever I test the battery, if the battery's low, it'll turn off, like right now, or it's happened a few times. And one thing about that is that this doesn't seem to want to use batteries as far as this will go. So the 160 will continue using the same battery until it's completely dead, and that same battery on here won't work at all. It'll just flash the lights for a few seconds and then turn off. And now this has an SOS mode, so it's going to flash the SOS signal. And that's incredibly useful if you're stuck on a desert island and you have obviously no cell phone and no food and you know, but you happen to have a YN-300 light, as you do, because obviously everyone's going to be carrying these to desert islands where you need to put out an SOS signal, and there's a plane flying above you, and then you take this out, and if the battery hasn't run out, then you can flash the SOS signal at the airplane. What? Okay, so obviously I'm joking about that. It's completely useless. Why would I want an SOS signal on my video light? I find, you know, I have an SOS signal on some of my pocket torches, and I don't even find it that useful on the pocket torches. So, you know, I definitely don't think that's a feature they should have put in there. It's a waste of a button. I would rather have saved £1 on the price than have had paid for that extra button and whatever. And so all these features should go. and it should just be a more powerful LED light. That's what this should have been. It should have been a better YN-160, and it's not. It's a 160 that costs more, and it's bigger, and it's built better. That's nice, and it's thinner, but apart from that, it costs more and it doesn't give you anything more other than a bunch of annoying features which are useless. So so personally, I don't think I'm going to be upgrading to these, because I don't see any point, you know, spending double the money on something which just feels a little bit more solid. So alright guys, I will review this in full, but basically right now I wouldn't recommend it. Maybe I'll find some nice uses for it, and I'll see, you know, I'll see how it does. But basically right now, if you want a cheap lighting system, get the 160. If you want an awesome but slightly more expensive lighting system, have a look at the Aperture 528 series. And I hope you found this helpful. And by the way, just a really quick note that I forgot is that this thing comes with a remote, which came with a pretty much dead battery. So that's a really cool feature, but not that useful. It's kind of cool. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!